We're doing Pimp My F1 slightly differently this year. So in years past, we've had certain categories and we've given a team in that category. This year, we are just going to go from the same order that they launched the cars last night. So from Sauber all the way through to McLaren, we're going to give a rating out of 10. Now, all three of us have no idea what the others are thinking in terms of their ratings, and we're going to reveal them all on our whiteboard. So if you are watching along, firstly, hello, you will see that after a countdown of 3, 2, 1, we will show our whiteboards at the same time. And then, of course, for audio listeners, we will let you know exactly what those scores are. And we'll get into the discussion as to why we think that's the case. Of course, with us rating all the liveries as well, we'll have a definitive order at the end. Cheers, John Burko. And we'll be able to say what our favourite livery is collectively. So we are going to start with Sauber. So if I could ask you, gentlemen, to write down your score out of 10.
Big question. Do we hold the whiteboard in the iPad configuration or the horizontal configuration?
Ooh. I've gone portrait mode on this, Sam.
I've also gone full portrait mode.
Well, that's excellent.
I'm horizontal.
You're a landscape boy.
I'm a landscape boy.
All right, Bob Ross.
Can we also? Are they not allowed? I thought they weren't allowed to be called steak or kick or whatever anymore in the UK.
I don't bother to keep up with that anymore.
Yeah, fair enough. They're Audi next year, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I am ready. Sam, are you ready?
How many numbers are you drawing, Sam?
Yeah, that's...
Oh, this could be a long segment if you're colouring them in.
I'm ready to go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. Okay. Harry and Sam have both got 5. I've got 2.
Oh, a 2. Okay. Well, as we're matching, Ben, why don't you go in and give us your reasons?
Yeah, I really hate this one. So...
To my point.
Yep. I didn't actually hate last year's one, but I really hate this one. It's a black car with some green spray paint.
So,
but halfway.
Yeah, halfway.
Last year, I didn't like what they did. I thought it was not great, but like they at least tried to integrate the colors together a little bit. This year, it's 2 cars. Like it's a black car and a green car, and there's just no attempt to put them together at all. You both had this livery last year as like the biggest letdown because of the color scheme. And I still feel that way as well. Like you could do so much with green, and yet they kind of don't. They also have a bit of a missed opportunity in that they don't really have any sponsors. So they could actually do something quite creative. And yet, I don't know. It's just, they just look like last minute decided, throw some green on the front.
I see your point. It is a low effort job, but I like the green a lot. I really hate the black a lot. And so therefore it's like a middle of the road for me.
I have actually marked them up on the lack of effort.
That is the most harrying thing in the world.
Because I hate it. I hate it more than last year. But the fact that they've just gone, it's last year, whatever, bit of it will be green and that'll do. And then they've walked off and had gone for a beer or something. I've marked them up, a couple of points.
The Discord ranking, by the way, is very similar to both of yours. So the average came out at 4.97 for our Discord users, which actually ranks 9th. So
we are
of the 10 teams. But
we are the people.
So, 2 5s and a 2 for Sauber, which means we next go on to Williams. Now, last year, Sam had Williams 3rd. Didn't make an appearance in the top 3 for myself or Harry, but what are we scoring this one?
Show us your whiteboards. Like, show us your mouse.
Sam is committed to the fancy writing.
I'm ready.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
okay. So we've got 3 from Sam. We've got 5 from myself and 6 from Harry. Harry, you're the most positive on this one.
It's blue. It's dependable. I'm happy with it. It's just unoffensive and inoffensive. I just like what they've done with it. The with a few more sponsors on that car now, makes a bit more sense to me. I just think the blue with the white sponsors, Ferrari, it makes sense. So I like it. It's gone for a 6. It's not my favorite by no means, but I think it's pretty solid, pretty dependable.
Yeah, I was fairly similar to that, so I've scored it a 5. The positives of it, I do prefer it to last year's Williams. I think it's a bit brighter. And yeah, you're right. There are more sponsors. I don't particularly love how they've displayed some of those sponsors. One thing I really hate, and I said the same thing last year, and I appreciate they might not be able to do too much with this. It pains me to see the Golf sticker on the side of the car because it just screams like what you could possibly do with this livery if it was more integrated, and it's not. But overall, yeah, I'm okay with this one. It is a little bit bland. I'm glad they didn't go more white with it, just based on what we saw from a few of the other teams. Of course, Haas and VCARB went more white than they have done in previous years. So that I appreciate they still would have had the blue, so it wouldn't have been too difficult to tell them apart. But I'm glad they didn't lean into that too much. Sam, you didn't like this one.
No, it's so boring, and the color blue it's a really rubbish color blue. I think the way the decals have been spoken about it being displayed is so unimaginative. That Atlassian, I thought I think I've said that incorrectly again, but I thought they have done something a little bit more interesting with that. And the fact that golf is one of the most iconic sponsors in the sport, and it's like it's just been forgotten. It's like just a side note, and I think that's awful. The Duracell box on there.
Oh, that's really clever, mate. Did you not see that?
I've never seen it before.
They should. I don't know why they've not done that sooner.
It haunts me forever, and I always will mark them down for it until it's gone, and I can move on from that legacy.
That's not their fault. It's people missed out on it the first time.
It's not my fault. McLaren, you lot are actually observing. I just think it's so. I would rather you be offensive than boring, and it's so boring, and that's my problem.
Clip that, Kirsty.
I will say with the sponsorship side of things, it does look to me, the Atlassian logo, because you've got the Komatsu logo that kind of takes the position of what would normally be the title sponsor. Like that logo hasn't changed at all versus last year's car. It does feel like, oh, they're our title sponsor. We need them prominently somewhere. There's a bit of space, just sort of.
The logo is too big for the area they put it in.
But I think they kind of like, because it's come together quite last minute, this deal, right? And it feels to me like they'd already given out the spots to the other brands. And then like, oh, there then?
Yeah, I agree. It looks like you've done it in a video game. You've only got about 3 variations of customization, and that's what they've ended up with.
I'm also a big fan of the race suits.
Okay, well, we're not judging them, so it doesn't matter.
No, I'm just pointing it out.
I don't want you to.
Oh, go away then.
It's a great comeback.
When you grow up, mate.
Of course, we don't even know who's going to be driving for them, because I know Carlos Sainz and whoever the other guy is.
Just a random guy on stage.
But there were loads of others with helmets on. Like, it could be any of those.
Daniel Ricciardo's under there somewhere.
A great marketing play if they did that.
It would.
For reference, the Discord had the Williams 8th on their list, so they didn't particularly love this one either.
Well done, Discord.
We now go to the team that doesn't know what to call itself and apparently jokes about that now. VCARB, Racing Bulls, AlphaTauri, Minardi, all the rest of it, Toro Rosso. They've gone quite different from last year. So last year was the first iteration of what we would call the VCARB era, but they haven't gone with something very closely resembling last year's livery. It did very well in our ratings last year. So I had them second, Harry had them third, and Sam had them as the most improved. But how are we rating this year's one?
Show us your whiteboard.
All right, 3, 2, 1. Good scores all round. I've gone with an 8. Sam's gone with a 9. Harry's gone with a 9.
One of us has got to do a 7 at some point for Len.
For Len. No relevance to the show at all.
A Len
Goodman reference.
Len Goodman.
Sam, kick us off. Why do you like this one?
That white and that yellow, it's just back to, was it the 2021 Red Bull Honda, the tribute that they did around Suzuka and the like. That was an absolutely stunning tribute, and I think this is kind of an ode to that. White and yellow are a fantastic color combination. It's no secret. I absolutely love a yellow Formula One car. We need more yellow on the grid. This is starting in a very small way to deliver that. I think the sponsorship is really bold. It's really clean. The V's are on the side. I think it looks great on a Formula One car. I love the Hugo on the front wing. I think it's really, really nice. What drops it to me from a 10 to a 9 is I don't like the tiny little blue Red Bulls that are creeping up the side pods, and I don't like the tiny bits of green from the Cash App that exist on the front wing. You have to be particular when it comes to liveries, folks, and that's why it's a 9, not a 10.
Yep, looks really good. Everything really pops on this livery. I think it was the one that caught people's attention the most. It was the runaway winner from the Discord. It wasn't even close. So clearly the people enjoy this one. I'm trying to debate with myself as to whether I like this one more than last year's one. I think I would just about give the edge to last year's one, but it is very close. I think they're both great liveries. I agree with what you said, Sam. One of the two things let it down for me. One of them was the tiny little racing balls towards the back.
Tiny little racing balls.
The other, and maybe this isn't fair to criticize him on this, this is the closest livery we've ever got to a Red Bull 2.0, which is frustrating just based on what it means. But in terms of like rating a livery, that might not be fair. Harry, what did you think?
What you guys said. I've only not marked it full because we've got more to come. But I really like this livery. I think it probably doesn't quite beat last year's livery for me, but overall, big fan. I'm a big fan of a simple white car with a bit of decals on it. Brawn GP, for example. Love that. So this ticks all of those boxes.
Am I right in saying the Orlan sticker's gone now as well?
It has, yes.
Because that was pretty awful. So
yeah, that is. I've got a picture of it on my phone right now, and it has completely gone.
Thank goodness. So yeah, very positive from all three of us, an 8 and 2 9s. We now go to Haas and all that they've done in the sport since they debuted 10 years ago.
That's a point lost already.
Sorry to go back to it. The shot, and it's like battled our way or whatever, and it's a rear view shot of a Haas defending from a Red Bull inexplicably. Maybe it was being lapped.
Yeah,
God's sake, man.
It definitely is.
That rattled me so much. I'm like, you can't do that.
The Red Bull had 3 wheels on.
It's their F2 car.
Isaac Hadjar from last year.
Yeah.
Haas is a really interesting one. Last year, Sam had it as his least favourite livery. I had it as my favourite livery. So this one could be very interesting. All right. Are you ready with your scores?
Ready.
3, 2, 1.
Are you having a laugh?
Harry's gone with a 10 out of 10. I've gone with a 9 out of 10. Sam hates it. He's giving it a 3. Variety. Sam, start us off.
We're back to being imposters, I see. We're the American team. We're bringing America. We brought America to F1 to compete. You come out with that crap. It's boring as anything. Grey, white with a sprinkle of red again. Oh my God. Where's the Toyota? Where's the Americanisms got thrown into it? You're about to get replaced. Cadillac are coming. They're turning up next year.
I so want Cadillac to be grey, white and red because Sam will pop. Sam will quit F1.
That's it. I'm going IndyCar. We've got so much potential. There's so much there that could be fantastic, and you just don't do anything with it. This is so boring. I get that it's clean, and I that's fine. But I said at the start, I would rather you be offensive than be boring. Where is your bald eagle on the side of it? Where is the bloody Rushmore presidents or whatever it is plastered down the side of the car? I don't care what it is.
Put Mount Rushmore on the side of the car, man.
Who says? Who says? King Haas putting all 4 of them, so stick them on there.
Max Verstappen overtaking Thomas Jefferson.
Sit that in your economy and smoke it. Genuinely, I just think they just Oh, there's so much potential, more than any other team, I think. And they never do anything with it. And that's what frustrates me with this.
Harry, full marks.
Full marks, baby. Last year, Ben, as you mentioned, you gave this your favourite car and a favourite livery. And at the time, I liked last year's, but I didn't give my favourite. And there was just something missing. And it turns out, apparently, the thing that's missing are white side pods.
Reverse the colours.
Reverse the colours around, and Harry's happy. I saw this picture of this because it leaked from the Silverstone Shakedown. And I was like, goodness me, I love it. I don't really know what fully why. I think obviously the reverse colours is one. There's just some sponsors on it now. Toyota, I know, sound they're not very present, but they're on the rear wing. You've got the MoneyGram ones, and it all just fits in. Everything fits together, and I just really like how that car looks. It's taken me a year for you to convince me on this, but it's now my favourite on the grid. I'm shook with this. I've shook with myself.
I gave it a 9 out of 10. I love last year's livery. I love this one as well. I said that last year's livery was like Midland F1 had returned, and this is the same, just the reverse of Midland F1, which, sure, why not? I thought it looked really slick, really simple, really slick. And yeah, I love last year's one. I love this one. Couldn't really separate them, but yeah, I think it looks really, really good. One of the things I do like in particular, and I know it's a small thing, I like what they've done with the number font. I think the numbers look really good on the front of the car. Only reason I didn't give this a 10 out of 10 was the number at the back of the car doesn't quite fit, I think, with the rest of the livery. But
also tiny.
Yeah, I've gone 9 out of 10.
Gonna start calling them F1 Land Mid.
Yeah, oh, that really works.
Thank you.
I reckon we should just cut that from the show. It was that bad.
Why? He said it's the reverse of that Midland F1.
It really rolls off the tongue. Next, we go to the last one before we take our next break. We'll go to Alpine. So once we'd got through their 3-hour-long intro, we didn't particularly love this livery last year. In fact,
wasn't one.
Harry, I re-listened to your rant about it earlier today. Good entertainment, won't lie. Yeah, it was my worst livery, and it was Harry's worst livery as well. Oh, sorry, Haas, before I mentioned, it was the Discord's second favourite.
Have a day off, we're falling out.
Yeah, Alpine. So it didn't get good reviews last year, but it looks quite a bit different this year. So how are we going to rate it? Are you ready? 3, 2, 1. There's Marlene Goodman. 7. But it is the lowest rating of the 3 because Harry's gone with an 8. And Sam, you can kick us off. You've gone with full marks.
It's a 10. That's how they've done one thing right. They've done one thing right, and they branded their car properly. That metallic blue down the side, that's how you do blue. It's absolutely gorgeous. And when you pair it with that kind of the juxtaposition of that lovely pink, it's not the weird pink there a couple of years ago. It's a slightly different shade. And I just think they've got the proportions of it right. The BWT logo sits brilliantly on the blue at the front, the pink on the side. It's married up so nicely. I think in the setting sun when we start to race, if they change that before we get there, I will have a meltdown. But if it rolls up to Albert Park and it looks like that, then they are going to look great all season long. And I'm very, very excited for it. It is punchy. It is bold. It will stand out across the rest of the grid. Even if it's at the back, at least I'll be able to look back there and go, God, isn't that a gorgeous back end that Formula One's got? And right now, it's a beautiful thing, and I absolutely love it. Well done, Alpine. You've done one thing right this year.
I'll admit, when I first saw it, I wasn't sure. The more I see it, the more I like it. I enjoy the way that they've mixed the pink and blue. The one thing I would want them to change a little bit, I think there's a bit too much black on the car. I'd like to see it I know a lot of teams have sort of carbon fiber, so you can't really avoid the black, but the pink and blue, I think, would work even more if it was featured just a little bit more predominantly. But yeah, I mean, it's got some colours on it, so it was always going to be better than last year. And yeah, like I said, the more I look at it, the more I do like it. So yeah, 7 from me. And Harry, you're a fan as well.
Yeah, it's got colour on it this time. So it's an 8. To be honest, the thing that did it for me was the pink BWT on the side of the blue, as you've already mentioned, Sam. I like that a lot.
I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
It looks like a terrible 90s back marker.
And that's all I want.
And that's a compliment.
I mean, yeah, but also Alpine.
It will race like a terrible 90s back marker.
It still is a 90s back marker.
Right, so fairly positive on Alpine to end our first half of Pimp My F1, but we still have the top 5 teams from last year's championship still to come after this. Welcome back, everyone. We've done the bottom half of the 2024 Constructors' Championship. We now move into the top half, and we start with Thames, aka Aston Martin. Still going with the same sort of livery concept we've had from the last few years, but certainly some differences versus the last few years as well. How are we rating this one? Are you ready with your ratings?
Yes.
3, 2, 1. Okay, so we've got a couple of 6s and then a 4 from myself. Harry, you seem qualified to talk about this one.
Oh, cheers, mate. I actually don't dislike this, mainly because it is slightly different, and I do like. There's a couple of additions of lime, I think, in there that we've not really had. I mean, it's very, very. It's a small amount because it's a line. It's just a lime line, but I like that. Where it lets itself down is the inclusion of the Madden. Which again, we're going to get
the new Ineos.
Yeah, exactly. On the airbox, which apparently had to be in white. Don't like that. And you can do the Aramco on the side pod in white. Why can it not be in white on the rear wing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's where it lets it down for me. But look, overall, still a very solid livery for me. But it's versus what we've had, it's not as good. But I appreciate the change.
Yeah, I was the most negative of the three of us on this one. I think it's the worst Aston Martin livery for a few years, I will admit.
Where's the pink lines?
Oh, yeah, that was cool.
The BWT, because they had the BWT sponsorship.
When was that?
First year, 2021?
Yeah, first year.
Yeah, worst one since then. I think it's worse than 22 and 23. But I think I'd pick it over the 2021 one. I think there are some positives. I think the numbers look great.
Yep.
Oh, the lime numbers. Really, yes, of course. Yeah. And
overall, I enjoyed more lime on the car. I think the problem is how it's actually been executed. The lines on the side of the car aren't as smooth as they've been in previous years. It looks a little disjointed. The Aramco sponsorship is now, I don't know, I just like it neat and in one line with, and it's kind of just packed in and on its side now, which I don't really like. It does seem as if, again, there's a bit more of black on the car and maybe from the carbon fiber, which I'm not a massive fan of. And you picked out the one thing I dislike most about this livery, Harry, which is that Madden, whatever the one. Well, I don't know what it is.
Making me Madden.
Making me Madden.
That's sensational.
So yeah, I don't think it's outright awful, but yeah, I think this is a downgrade on last year. Sam?
Numbers massively ramped it up for me. Love those big lime green numbers on there. I think it's really, really cool. It's not properly green. I'll stand by that. And also the carbon fiber does not work with that shade at all. And the placement of it on the car is horrendous. I think from that kind of not completely bird's eye view, that almost kind of like third person driver cam, but from behind where you're looking at it from that angle, it just looks really messy with what's going on there. Despise as well the fact that we've got the black carbon fiber, the weird blue green, the lime green, the white. It's just a lot going on. I don't think it's really been thought through properly. So very middle of the road. It's not the worst car by far on the grid, but I think it's got a lot of things to leg it down.
The carbon fiber placement is frustrating because last year they were the best at that in my view, because they hid it all on. You can only see it from a top-down view, basically. And this year they've done, no, we won't do that anymore.
Yeah, I completely agree.
I did forget to mention before the break that the Discord ranked Alpine as the third best livery on the grid. Aston Martin, you just said, Sam, it's middle of the road. Discord agrees with you. 6th place.
Fair.
Now maybe it's foreshadowing where they're going to finish this season. Who knows? Let's go into the top 4. Mercedes. Am I right in saying Mercedes haven't actually released renders of their car to this point? Obviously, we saw it last night, the livery, but I can't actually see them posting it themselves.
I think that
on
might
their
as,
Instagram,
might as well have been their 2014 car. They're showing nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing to no one, you punks.
Last year, Sam, you had Mercedes as your runner-up, and Harry had it as the most improved. What are we going for this year? Are you ready with your numbers?
Oh, hang on.
I was too busy looking at pictures of it again online.
Yeah, same. I'm ready, boss.
I'm ready, boss.
3, 2, 1. Okay.
Oh, gosh.
Bit of a variety here. So I'm in the middle of you both on a 6. Sam has gone for an 8. Harry's gone with a 4. Sam, start us off positively.
Yeah, I think this is not as good in a lot of areas, but I also think they've weirdly made some really nice changes. The Ineos has moved from that airbox. Thank Christ for that. It's now just on the inside of the front wing, tying a little Ineos end plate, and I'm sure we'll see that get knocked off by Kimi Antonelli on at least 15 of the 24 races. So doing God's work, Kimi. But yeah, that red that they had on the car is almost, again, we're going to get onto this, what Ferrari are going through at the moment with HP. It just conflicts with their identity. It conflicts with everything that we know about the car. I love the dark colors. I love the stars that they've got on there to represent the AMG. I love the fade into the turquoise with the silver. They do this kind of stealth dark livery better than anyone else. They do it really, really well. All of the sponsors blend really, really nicely. It is becoming a little samey. But you've got to maintain that branding. I understand that. But it's clean. It's well put together. It's professional. It will look good on the racetrack. I like it. I don't absolutely love it. I like it.
Harry, you're not a massive fan of this one.
I just think that pick a lane and stick to it, because I just don't feel like this one knows where it is supposed to be. Is it a fully camo black Mercedes? Is it a bit of both? Which last year I think they did really well, bar the Ineos. And you're right, very pleased that's gone from the airbox. I don't know. And maybe I'll feel differently once I actually see some more pictures that weren't just under the studio lights at the O2. But yeah, I just felt a little bit messy. The Petronas colouring, the teal, it's probably the least well integrated for me they've ever done. It's just a line. But it's not the worst. I was a bit frustrated. I was like, oh, okay, fair enough, but it's not great.
Yeah, I was maybe most unsure about this one because I immediately, what you said, Sam, the Ineos is gone. Like that was the big positive moment of that reveal. And then I actually looked at the livery and thought, do I particularly like anything else from this? Not massively. I think it's fine. But yeah, I think the side of the car does look a little bit worse than it did last year. You've kind of got the Petronas logo and the Team Viewer logo sort of packed in. And then you've got a lot of open space sort of behind it, which I don't think looks brilliant. But yeah, I thought it was fine enough. I think the Discord think it's fine enough as well. They had it ranked 5th. To move on to the top 3. Now, Red Bull, we weren't expecting much from them, but they brought out an innovative design that we've never seen before. If you can find something that was different on this year's livery versus last year's livery, not including the Bybit sponsorship, I will buy you a drink.
Hey, we've still got the last one to go yet.
True.
Are you ready, kids?
Okay,
yes.
Let's reveal in 3, 2, 1. Yep, fairly similar scoring across the board here. Myself and Sam have gone for a 4 out of 10, but Harry, you've gone even worse with a 3 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm all for iconic liveries in F1. The Marlboro McLaren, the Vodafone McLaren, the West. These are all McLaren. Sorry, but what liveries that stuck around for a long time, I'm all for. But we are now coming on to year 10 of this same matte blue livery, and it's had basically no changes in that time, apart from maybe some Honda sponsorships. It's time to let it go, and maybe 26 is the year. But a part of me thought they're going to do it, aren't they? Visa Cash App, they've gone all white.
You weren't sucked into that. Come on.
Well, I wasn't. I was mildly baited which would be a good name for a band. But I just thought maybe they might have gone down a different road, and then they didn't. So never mind.
I don't have too many notes on this one. If you like Red Bull liveries, you'll like this one.
You'll be happy.
Yeah. And if you don't like them, you won't like this one. You're right. I just want to reason with Red Bull. Like, you don't have to completely revolutionize the car. Just a bit of change. Just a little bit. Mercedes and Ferrari do it very well, where they don't necessarily reinvent the wheel when they do a livery, but they at least make it look somewhat different from the year before. Red Bull, you really cannot tell the difference between the 25 livery and the 24 livery. And part of me is a bit upset about that, because going into this event, I was like, this sort of an event is like tailor-made for Red Bull and the stunts that they like to do. And it felt to me like they were a little bit, everyone knows we're not going to change the livery, so we're not actually going to make a massive deal out of it. And that's a shame, because I thought that they would be like leading the way in terms of making something of their time. Instead, 4 out of 10. Spot the difference. Sam?
Yeah, literally that. It is an iconic livery at this point. It is inoffensive. It's fine. It's had some brilliant moments throughout Formula One. I don't dislike the livery, but I've seen the livery 1,000 times, and I'm pretty bored of seeing that livery. I was just going to make a comparison about eating chicken nuggets out of McDonald's, but I can eat that.
Oh, go on.
Guys, because it's wrong. It's a lie. That's a 10 out of 10 every time I have it.
Anti-chicken nugget.
Who am I kidding there?
Oh my God, I won't lie to the people. I've got nothing else to say. I'm not going to drag it on, but it was just okay. Corporate, like, you can find the difference between two photos.
The Red Bull livery designer is laughing every year.
How have they got a job? They surely don't have
he or she is handing that in and going, I bet they're going to say no this time. And he's like, again, another yes. Right, off to the pub.
11 months in the Caribbean.
Boom.
Walks into the boardroom, slaps down the picture, and Christian Horner looks up and goes, by God, you've done it again.
He's slapping down a picture of the 2016 Red Bull going, again.
And they've gone, you bloody genius.
How have you done it?
They'll never see this coming.
Okay, so we didn't rate the Red Bull very highly. Neither did the Discord. It was the Discord's least favorite livery.
Whoa.
Huge.
So we come down to just 2 teams. Ferrari are up next. They typically do very well in this segment that we do on a yearly basis, because Harry has ranked Ferrari as the top livery in each of the last 2 years. Sam has ranked Ferrari as the top livery in each of the last 3 years. But will they hold on to that honour or not remains to be seen. Do we have some scores?
We do.
In 3, 2, 1.
Oh, Lord.
Yikes. I've been the most positive. 3 out of 10. Harry's gone with a 2.
I thought it was really harsh.
He's gone with a 1. Wait, do I have to do the positive bit? I wasn't ready for that. I was expecting at least one of you to like it. It's not the Mission Win Now Green. That's a positive.
That's fair. A great point.
Oh boy.
It's not the that was the same car, wasn't it? I was going to say the Mission Win Now one had the like 2-tone red. But that was also terrible. Ignore me.
The weird thing is, a lot of people are pointing out the white on this, and I think it looks really bad. I could live with the white aspect of it. I actually just don't like the rest of it.
White on a Ferrari is not rare and regularly looks great.
I've seen many examples of this car working. It's HP. Love your printers, guys. Love your printers.
No, I don't anymore.
Let them have the black logo or the white logo, just not the blue one. Why are you doing this to us?
You've lost a customer.
Throws HP out the window.
I will not be printing again.
I don't understand.
I honestly think you could remove the HP stuff from it. I still wouldn't like this livery. I think the rest of the side of the car is not good looking.
I've seen a couple of versions. One that people have already done on Twitter. One, the white is replaced with a full yellow stripe and it has a black HP logo.
And I quite liked that.
Yeah. Boom. One also just had the white, but instead of the HP logo, it had a big black prancing horse. Was a big fan of that as well.
Stunning.
That's why the HP, and I don't like that. I think even if they had the white without the HP, I'd still prefer last year's easily. But white on a Ferrari should work. We've had it a lot back in the day, but back in the Schumacher days, it was there all the time.
Where's my big Ferrari rear wing gone?
Oh,
Where's
that's a tragedy.
Why do I have 3 blue HP stamps on it? What's that all about? Why is there a HP on the side and this weird white diagonal? It doesn't fit properly. It's like someone's put a coaster across a table and gone, that works. That's how that works. It's all over the front wing as well. And they've gone, well, the blue doesn't work for HP. So what do we do? Make everything white. It's still blue, red, and white. It's an atrocious color combination. You are massacring my boy. Yeah. Lewis Hamilton is trying to have a good time and it's going to look hideous every week. Because of you. At least the tracksuit looks good.
Yeah, this is true.
This isn't new for this year, but another thing that I routinely dislike about the Ferrari livery is the carbon fiber triangle they have towards the back of the car.
Yes, I don't understand it.
Not a fan. Ferrari not exactly doing very well in our rankings.
It's more just a disappointment, all right?
I'm so disappointed.
Yeah.
Collective score of 6. The Discord were all over the place with this one, to be honest.
I'm not surprised. I do think it's a real opinion splitter, actually.
Yes, it ended up being 4th in the rankings for the Discord, although the difference between like 4th and 7th was pretty minimal. So now we just go to the final one, which is McLaren. Of course, constructors champions. They had the championship trophy out with them, as well as a number of their older cars.
Hey, that was hella cool, by the way.
That was hella cool.
I love that. Do more heritage stuff, F1 teams.
Yeah, I think I thought about this afterwards. I'm guessing it's because they were last, so they could do that. But
maybe.
But well done for doing that because you were last.
Yeah. If Red Bull did that, it would be 8 of the same cars.
Of course.
2016 onwards, yeah.
This livery will get one of its 3 outings this year at the Australian Grand
Can we
Prix.
even count this? Because what's the point?
This is actually a special livery.
It might as well be at this point.
It's a testing livery.
We do have some scores. 3, 2, 1.
Ooh.
Okay. So we have got a 2 from Sam, a 4 from Harry, and a 6 from myself. Sam, start us off.
It's amazing that you can get black and orange so wrong. It works so well in so many instances. Just go and look at an arrows. That's what a sexy back marker looks like. Maybe it's because you're quick. Maybe you can't be good looking and quick at the same time. You can't. I take it back. Charles Leclerc exists. But it just doesn't work for me. And what brings it down even further is the Google Chrome wheels don't work with the black and orange livery. They now don't work with the weird little blue parts around the halo. I just don't think it sets it up nicely. And the black is carbon fiber. It's got proper lovely glossy black. It's carbon fiber. I don't love it at all. It just feels like they have the potential to do something really, really brilliant with this papaya, and they just can't seem to get it right for me. It hasn't really worked once since they've gone to it. I don't like it at all. I really don't enjoy it.
I'd like to big up Andrea Stella for being such a nice man that he cushioned the blow before unveiling the car by saying, there's lots of new innovation in this car, technically, but the livery's the same. And then they took the covers off.
Yeah.
Just one of you guys, but you're going to be disappointed.
That's why he's the team leader.
Just like holding your hand through this. You're not going to enjoy this, guys, but it's going to be fine.
Just give it a big squeeze and it'll be over soon.
I genuinely don't have much to say on this one. I thought last year's one was fine, and this is basically the same, so still fine. I still hate the Google Chrome wheels, but outside of that, I really don't have any notes. It's okay. Yeah, it was 7th place in the Discord rankings, by the way. Which means, I think that means we can put together our collective rankings. If you'll give me just a moment. So our least favourite livery is Ferrari that scored 6 out of a possible 30 points.
Nice. Nice.
Very valid. We then have a tie for 8th place between Sauber and McLaren, who both end with 12. We've got, Red Bull are 9th with 11. And then we've got a tie for 7th between McLaren and Sauber on 12. 13 points for Williams in 6th. And then in the top half, we've got 16 for Aston Martin, 18 for Mercedes, and then a top 3 of Haas in 3rd with 22, Alpine in 2nd with 25, and our favourite collective livery is VCARB with 26 points.
Oh, sorry.
That's God's sake.
Slick as ever.
Oh, we'll never be professionals.
Let us know in the comments, in the reviews, on Discord, wherever you want to find us. Do you agree with our ratings or not? Given there were 10 teams, I'm shocked if you've managed to agree with us on all of them. But yeah, let us know.